So, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the finale of the Underwater Temple arc here in Black Clover. Also, we have reached the episode 50 standpoint, which we're halfway to 100 episodes if Black Clover does make that way animation-wise. But let's talk about the final episode here for the Underwater Temple arc. So today it was kind of, when you look at it, an emotional episode. We have finally, this is the ending of the Underwater Temple. It was mostly just concluding it. Everyone's saying their goodbyes, getting ready, of course, for the next arc and the future of Black Clover. I want to talk about, though, of the opening and the ending, because Black Clover, if they're not doing well animation or episode-wise, through the series, their openings and endings, they always kill it. Guess Who is Back and 4 are definitely like Black Clover this year. Going in next year for the Crunchyroll Awards, if they do not win Best Opening or Best Ending, then I have no idea. And don't get me wrong, probably other anime have really great, openings and endings this year. Don't get me wrong on that. It's always going to be a hard challenge. But if you're literally killing it every single, arc, with this series, with the opening and the ending, especially it being animation-wise looking great, then I have no idea. And we even see that as a farewell, in this episode, at the very ending, which they put it more as an ending to the series of Season 1, because it is confirmed for 51 episodes, as we thought, because of course we're going to be getting Season 2 at the start of October. But mostly, I felt like they were just ending off the series, and this, it feels like they shouldn't even have episode 51. They should just wait till October, whenever it is, at the start, middle, ending, I don't know what they're doing, and then they go to the Kite War arc. Because this episode, like I said, it was just emotional. It felt like it was just saying goodbye to Black Clover Season 1, but of course it's still going to continue on. But let's look at the episode-wise right here. This is the ending to the Underwater Temple. It's mostly everyone saying their goodbyes, getting ready for the new arc, etc. like that. The most, important part you look at today's episode is the Black Bulls getting, respect. And we know that through the start of Black Clover that, the Black Bulls, they're a squad where they're always lazy, people are terrified of them, and they're just the worst squad, in history. They're at negative, I think it was 50 stars when Asta first joined the Black Bulls, but now this is the first time that people are actually respecting them. This is what the Magic Knight squad is. And, it's, I could always say this in my reviews, that it's thanks to Asta, that the Black Bulls are what they are now. But, in this episode, when they're just recovering their magic and getting ready to get out of the Underwater Temple and go back to the surface, we see that the people are cheering them on. This is the first that any of them have experienced before, and it's definitely emotional because they want to get stronger and to protect more people. It's definitely a huge character development for every single one of the Black Bulls, that they want to get stronger and to protect the people. If we're going back early Black Bulls, like when Asta first joined, they wouldn't have said anything like this. They wouldn't even care. They would just want to, sit in the couch or always fight all the time, like Luck's character, for example, and just do that. But huge development on their part. Definitely big for Black Clover to go more into the future and just for characters to get stronger. Really, really awesome. They also did accomplish their mission in here. If you guys didn't follow the Underwater Temple arc, of course the Black Bulls went to this place to get the magic stone that the Eye of the Midnight Sun want to achieve, to resurrect something huge. I won't talk about it due to spoiler wise, but we even see now that when the Black Bulls actually got this magic stone, Nero found it again, just like he did with the first one, going back to the first arc with Magna, Noelle, and Asta, going to this village. I think, I forget the village name, but yes, the Black Bulls now have 2 magic stones. I'm pretty sure they did give them to the Wizard King after all this, because that is their mission after all, but they completed it, everything like that. They probably will get a huge promotion when they go back up to the surface. But also, we see in this episode of Asta and Yami paying respects to Vito. And this is a really weird one because he is an enemy. He was a guy that wanted to, annihilate everyone, annihilate all the humans, because he is an elf. And it's huge for this series because, Asta's character going up to Vito in this episode, you can definitely relate it to Naruto, for example, that he wants to have peace with everyone. Even if an enemy wants to kill Asta or even just annihilate all the Black Bulls or the humans whatsoever, he wants to have peace peace with everyone. And we see that, in this episode, that he felt like Vito had more to spare than everyone else, because there's this huge thing going on right now, and we even saw that in episode 49, last week's episode, that, Vito was an elf talking with Light, and Light, wanted to have this promise of the elves and the humans to, have peace among everyone. He doesn't want a war at all, he just wants everyone to be themselves and everyone to follow their dreams. And of course that shattered, the humans annihilated almost all the elves, and of course now the elves want to get payback on the humans. So it's definitely a huge clue that we still need to figure out in Black Clover and for the future. It's something like that is happening, but of course I won't talk about it due to spoilers and everything like that. But it's definitely, something like that with Asta and Yami's character, that something big is important of why he actually did it, kind of figuring out the clues here or there, but it's also, to give their vows that this guy was a strong enemy, and he did, like Asta, of course, he didn't want Vito to be an enemy, but that's how it is. One more thing I could say about this episode is Kyoto having feelings for Noelle now. I guess people and, Reddit or the Black Clover community can go Kyoto and Noelle or something like that. We see, of course, their damages that they had, throughout this arc of Kohono losing her voice and Kyoto losing her, his leg, because this is really big for their magic and for their dreams. That, Kyoto, is a dancing, I guess, magic user. For him to fulfill his dream, he wants to be a good dancer, while Kohono is a really good singer, that their dream is to go up to the surface and sing and dance to the people, and of course to become idols. These characters, they're going to show up again in the future. They're not just characters in an arc where, we get introduced to them and we're not going to see them ever again. We're going to see them sometime very soon. I won't talk about more due to spoilers. I'm saying that a lot throughout this review, but of course we're going to get more of that in the future of Black Clover, and of course we're going to get introduced into the Kind War arc here next episode. But as I said before, the Underwater Temple, it's like a 50-50 for me. I was kind of really disappointed but really glad at the exact same time, because we could all say that episode 49 was probably the best episode in the Underwater Temple arc by far. It's probably one of the best episodes in Black Clover to date. Some episodes that they had with the Lucky Magnet fight versus Vito, really good animation. It was a really good fight. People really enjoyed that. People enjoyed episode 49. But of course, some of the episodes that had really bad animation. And one of those episodes could have been one of the worst Black Clover episodes yet. So I definitely say it probably was a little bit better in the manga than it was in anime. But the anime still did it great. I was a really big fan of it. I'm sad to see this arc go. But more arcs are going to be introduced, more stuff for Black Clover that I'm really excited. Of course, you guys know if you read or watched my season 2 announcement video of Black Clover. And now, guys, we're going to the future. It's going to be handled by a different studio right here. So if the animation, the opening night is good, guys, Black Clover is just going to explode, because you guys aren't ready. The Kind War arc, the Witch arc here coming up is going to change, and I know people are going to enjoy it. If you're a Yuno fan, if you're an Asta fan, these arcs, pay attention to their character, because you're going to be amazed. But this episode in general, guys, episode 50, I definitely say it was on the emotion side, saying goodbye to these characters of the Underwater Temple. The Black Bulls finally gave them their respect and kind of honor that they have wanted to, have for a very long time. And I would say this episode here today, guys, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It was an episode. It was just an average one. Really nothing happened. It's really just saying goodbye to an arc, goodbye to some people. Hopefully to see them again in the future. And just, more of a build-up going into another arc of Black Clover. But if you guys all enjoyed my review here today, be sure to leave a comment down below of what your favorite part was in the Underwater Temple arc. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't. And we'll go see you guys next week for episode 51 of Black Clover. Much love, guys, and have yourselves a wonderful day.